Hello and welcome to Professor Herman Manyora's channel. My name is Jalil Kabir. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Today's conversation is a conversation that you've been pushing for quite some time, talking about the BBI. The case at the Court of Appeal ended on last week on Friday. If the Court of Appeal upholds what the High Court ruled on the BBI, and on August 20th it goes up to the Supreme Court, will we have the BBI as it is come 2022, or how will it be? Will it affect the elections then?
You know, this I think is only delay. If the Court of Appeal doesn't agree with Uhuru and Raila and the rest, they would move to the Supreme Court most likely. If the Supreme Court agrees with them, they will find a way of having the BBI referendum. I believe there is enough time. If, on the other hand, the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court agrees with the High Court, I think Raila and Uhuru are politician enough to find other avenues of implementing whatever it is they wanted to implement for this country.
So can the IEBC be able to have the referendum and the general elections next year?
Why not? You know, sometimes I get very annoyed sometimes. You want to laugh, but you want to cry. What is an election of 20 million voters? This is a joke. This can be organized in the morning and is held in the afternoon. We make simple things look so difficult. And we make big things look so simple, simplistically. You know, India, do you know the elections official in India during an election are more than the registered voters of Kenya, officials. We are talking of hundreds of millions of voters.
The officials are more?
Yeah, are more than our voters here. What are you talking about? And they only have 3 commissioners. What are we talking about?
So therefore you're meaning that even if...
You saw Biden got how many votes? About 80 million.
About 80
Trump
million.
about 70-something million. And it's a simple affair. Some of them votes are even mailed. You are voting by mail. Bahasha, inabeba kura yako. Why are we making a simple thing look? A referendum, let me tell you, in future, we are going to have a lot of referendum questions. A lot of referendum. Even in a year, you could even have 10. There are countries where referendum is the order of the day. That's why I was laughing at the High Court judgment. That every time you want to have a referendum, you have a mass voter registration. Supposing you have 10 of them, you can't deny Kenyans the right to a referendum. Not necessarily through an amendment of the Constitution. There are many. It's just a question on whether we do this or do the other, and on amendment of the Constitution. It's a simple thing. A referendum.
So
simple.
For those people that are
The one
saying...
of 2 or 5 was so simple. The figures were flowing to KICC. Live. You vote here and you see figures were on a board in KICC. It is that simple. In fact, I dare say, going forward, we should just be able to vote on your phone. If you can trust your millions in a bank and access the same through a phone, and access the same through an ATM, how can, between your 2 million in your account and a vote for some stupid politician, which one would you want to guard more?
The money, obviously.
You know, the problem with third world mentality is we make small things look very big. In future, I don't see an election going beyond your phone. Yeah.
People are celebrating that the elections, the BBI referendum is on delay. It might be in delay since next year. So you're telling them, hold up, this thing will still happen.
And that's why, sometimes back I said, Kenyans, twice I've said, Kenyans, be careful. Look at this BBI, more critical. And look at other things around. And ask yourself whether you can have a real election next year. People didn't understand me, including a friend of mine who called to warn me, please, what you are doing is you are polarizing the country. I told him I'm not, but I'm looking for him, we talk. A very serious politician in this country. He wants to be president.
Okay.
Let me tell you, and I truly said recently, I saw him repeating on TV yesterday, that this election, it is not a matter of life and death. There can be much more important things. So this BBI can be done anytime in the course of next year. So when people are celebrating it is delayed, they should be crying instead. It could be done in February, in January, in March, and cause so much confusion. You know, Mimi, I'm speaking from a very neutral position.
Okay.
It could be the intention of the deep state to use the BBI to create confusion. And in that confusion, they will have their way next year.
Through the elections.
So anybody celebrating the delay in BBI doesn't understand politics from a very critical perspective.
You know, but when it comes to the deep state, some
Yes.
people would say that, Manyora, you're just trying to create a scenario that doesn't exist so that people can feel like the BBI is still on course and the BBI is still dead. Is there a way that some people ignore the right things that do happen and they end up crying, as you're saying, later in the future?
They will cry. This I will tell you. People, Mudavadi included, Ruto and his team, they are in a hurry to become president. They think it is so easy. Do you know why Moi won twice? One after introducing multi-party. 92 akawagonga. 97 in Kak. 2002 he was retiring because of the new constitution then. Why did he win in 92? He looked so weak. He looked so vanquished. Everybody thought the presidency was theirs for the taking. That's why they could not even unite. Jaramogi was there, Matiba, Kibaki, and a host of other wannabes. You get what I'm saying? Because they thought it was so obvious they were going to win. My friend, they did not win. Today, people like Tangatanga think the president is theirs for picking. That's why they're in a hurry for that election. If they hear somebody talking about the possibility of postponement, they will be disappointed. They'll be in for a rude shock.
But I would think then there are so many Kenyans that are against BBI, as much as those that are
Many
pro-BBI.
Kenyans are against BBI, not BBI the document, BBI the politics. You know, those are two different things. There's BBI the politics, there's BBI the document.
Okay.
And that's why when the vote is taken, BBI would pass.
Would pass.
Yeah, of course, with flying colors.
And there are those who are against it.
The politics will disappear. The moment it's time to decide whether you get that constituency or not. You saw Kimani voting for it, Kimani Ngunjiri. Did he vote for it?
Yeah.
You saw some Tanga people voting for it?
But you were saying it's because
Because
of the
it's
bribes.
what is inside.
Not because of the bribes that were being
What
alleged.
bribes? Politics is about all those things. You cannot cry. Those everything. You call it the bribe, you call it the rigging, you call it anything. That's part of politics. Even when they are looking for the Pope at the Vatican, for the white smoke, lots of things happen, my friend. Lots of things. It's not smooth sail because it's a church affair.
I've always wondered though, Prof. You've always been pro BBI, saying that BBI is legit and it should be the thing that will unify the country.
Yes.
Why is it going to unify the country if the president or even the court can be able to say that if you are the loser, you cannot be able to bring all this nonsense that we see post-elections, you should be able to step down? Why is the BBI going to bring a scenario in which even the loser...
That is a tired argument people are using. They are saying the problem we have is the loser not accept. That is the most stupid argument because we are talking about a fair election. To the extent that fair elections are not being fair in this country, you can't ask the loser to go home. He'll go to the streets because the elections are not free and fair. We should be fighting to make elections free and fair. Beyond that, as BBI intends, we should try to remove this idea of winner takes all in our context, in our situation. Let us be as inclusive at that political level as possible so that everybody seems to see there's something in it for him. Yeah, that's what is important.
But you've always used the United States as an example for different levels of what is happening in the country. Why can't we use the United States? Trump lost, he had to go home. Why can't you use it here?
When it comes to winning and losing, the structure of American politics and the history is quite different. Ours is different. We are still a primitive society. Let us accept it. We are still tribal. The only consideration we have is of tribe. And therefore, so long as our politics has been one, where only a community or two seem to be at the table of leadership, we will always have a problem. And I think that's what the BBI is addressing. Look here, so long as we are being told Akikuyu, Akalenjin, Akalenjin, Akikuyu, Akikuyu, Akalenjin, you cannot have a stable society. That's not sustainable. It has never been anywhere, and it will not start here.
Finally, let me ask then, if someone loses with the BBI and they're made prime minister, what guarantees that they will accept the results of the election? What guarantee is there?
If you go at the universities now, the new Universities Act in matters of elections of students, when you want to stand as a student leader, say at the University of Nairobi, at college level or at UNZA level, the top level, on all other universities, according to the law now, you come as a team. You want to be president. I don't know who brought this name president. You want to be president, you must come with your Secretary General, you must become with all those offices. And look here, you cannot come with 2 from any county, 1 county. You must include people with disability. You must include foreign students. You see that kind of arrangement? So, if we have that arrangement in the country, you want to stand, you are going to have teams. Ruto will have in his team a Luya, his Kalenjin. There will be a Kikuyu, maybe Rigathi Gachagua, my friend, whoever it will be, deputy. There will be somebody from the coast, maybe Aisha Juma. Dito Raila. Raila is a Luo. He'll have somebody from Central. He'll have somebody from Rift Valley. Now, you see, these are teams from across the country.
Yeah.
So that if Ruto loses, the Kalenjin can see Gideon is there. So they are part of the government.
Oh.
You get, if Raila loses, there should be a Luo or a Luya there to make Luo see they are still part of this country. That is the thinking of BBI. It may not be the best, but it is an attempt.
As for now, people should just try
it's
to
an attempt,
take it. Well, thank you so much. I don't know what you think about this. This is Professor Herman Manyora for you, saying that this is just an attempt. People should take it home. But hey, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Thank you so much, Prof, for coming through.